Going to create a new layer and add a black fill to it. Once you have this layer, move into your adjustments menu and open up the noise. Really, any function of noise here works, but we just need a little bit of texture on the layer. So something like this works. You can feel free to mess with this and get different types of effects, but for today, we're just going to keep it really simple so it's easy for you all to follow along. So once you have a noise layer like this that you like, you just tap this blue wand again and it will apply that. And now we're going to make sure this layer is selected and go back to the adjustments panel and open up curves. Now with curves, what we're trying to do here is basically create a few really bright spots. Instead of it just all being white noise, we want only a few of those to pop out. So I'm going to take this little dot and bring it down, and then I'm going to add another dot up here to try to pull out a highlight. And you can already see this is looking a lot more like stars than when we started. So for this first part, I just want to try to get a bunch of these bright stars. And once I have something I'm happy with, I'm going to hit this wand again and it will apply that curves. So this is already pretty good. But we can take it a little bit further. So let's duplicate what we've done so far. Change this to something like lighten or screen so we can see through to the layer behind it. And then we're going to take our transform tool, go to uniform, and just scale this up a bit until we start creating some larger stars. And we can really spin this around, and as long as we're not at the edge of our box, it'll look pretty good. So I want some bigger stars that are going to be a little closer to us. I think that looks pretty good. And you can go to the curves menu again, or the curves panel, and like we were doing originally, pull out some more of these stars or push them farther away. That looks pretty good to me. One thing I like to do at this stage is actually add a solid black layer in between these two layers of stars we've made, so I can make those background stars feel even farther away. Once I create a star field that I'm happy with, I will copy canvas to select this whole image, and then I will paste it again. And then I'll duplicate it. And with this layer on top, I'm going to create a bit of a glow in this star field. To start, I will do a motion blur this way, about a 45-degree angle, and then I'll turn that off, go back to this original layer, duplicate it, and now I'm going to do motion blur going in the other way. I'll duplicate it again. I'm going to do a motion blur straight up. I'm going to pull this one a little farther. And now I will layer all of these to create a nice starry effect. And with this glow layer, I'm going to now move back to lighten. And this is a little too crisp for me. So what I like to do at this stage is I go to chromatic aberration, displace, and I don't want it to be like that, but just ever so slightly offset. And then we'll come through with the Gaussian blur and blur it a little bit. And there we have it. a nice star scene created in just a few minutes. If you'd like to take your work even further, consider adding something like a gradient to your star field. If you'd like some tips on how to do it, consider watching my next video.